Professor Mohsin Al-Dalami, the President of Kufa University, our guests from the Ministry, Deans, all of our guests, welcome. Thank you so much for joining us today. This is just to show us how important our job is, because you have left many commitments behind. Today, we are repeating ourselves. So last year, we've done the same activity after getting the authorization from Queensland University in Australia. Such a kind of activity will help us to help our students to develop their communication skills, academic skills, and their presentation skills. So today, we are very proud at Kufa University to hold this activity again. Now, I'm calling Dr. Dargham to recite some of ayat.
الحضور الأفاضل، مع حفظ الألقاب والمقامات، تحية من السلام، تحية من أرض السلام، تحية ملؤها أنفاس علي. أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وعباد الرحمن الذين يمشون على الأرض هونا وإذا خاطبهم الجاهلون قالوا سلاما والذين يبيتون لربهم سجدا وقياما بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. وعباد الرحمن الذين يمشون على الأرض هونا وإذا خاطبهم الجاهلون وإذا خاطبهم الجاهلون قالوا سلاما قالوا سلاما قالوا سلاما والذين يبيتون لربهم سجدا وقياما وعباد الرحمن الذين يمشون على الأرض هونا وإذا خاطبهم الجاهلون قالوا سلاما والذين يبيتون لربهم سجدا وقياما والذين يقولون ربنا اصرف عنا عذاب جهنم والذين يقولون ربنا اصرف عنا عذاب جهنم إن عذابها كان غراما. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. قل هو الله أحد الله الصمد لم يلد ولم يولد ولم يكن له كفوا أحد. صدق الله العلي العظيم. اللهم صل وسلم وزد وبارك على رسول الله وآله الأطهار. على رسول الله وآله الأطهار. صلوا على محمد وآل محمد.
Dr. Dargham, thank you so much for this beautiful reciting. Now, I'm asking you please to stand up to hear the Iraqi national anthem. Thank you so much. Again, thank you so much for joining us today. Today you will be listening and hearing 9 candidates who are competing each other to win this activity. And at the end of the day, when they will win it, we will send a video recording to University of Queensland, and there is a chance to go there to compare there as well. Now, I'm going to leave you with the judging panel and our host for today, Ustad Majid. So please join us, Ustad Majid. Oh, sorry. There is a film, small film, about Kufa University and about how Kufa University got them the universal ranking, QS, RUR, and with some information about Kufa University and about this activity, 3-minute thesis. Thank you.
The leader of the University of Kufa took a decision for 3 years to rewrite vision, mission, and strategic plan for the University of Kufa. And the new strategy consists from 5 important themes. One of this theme is the learning and teaching. And this theme is called a golden triangle and consists from 3 main parts: student, curriculum, and academic staff. For postgraduate, there are many different and important activities for PhD and master degree, and one of the most important, the 3-minute thesis. And this activity, the student learning many important skills, such as how to present a project, how to pursue the audience of other project, and at the end of the story, how to marketing their project.
I just wanted to tell you a little bit about the 3-minute thesis competition. Actually, I participated in such a competition when I was a student in University of Adelaide in Australia. Actually, it was a fantastic opportunity for me to participate in such activity. At the time, I've been told, I need to say something about my thesis in a 3-minute time. It was really tough for me because at that time I've written 80,000 words in my thesis, and I've written 10 chapters. It was really, really tough for me to say all of these things in 3 minutes. And then I took the risk and I participated in such activity. And I was fortunate because I won it at that time at Adelaide University, and then I went to Queensland University. And now when I came back to my home country, Iraq, I said, why I don't want to bring it to my country to make this opportunity available for my people here in Iraq. So this year, I said I need to repeat it again. And then I put my proposal again, and I sent the notification for the University of Queensland, asking them to give me the authority to do it again here. So they said that's fine. So we are at Kufa University one of the 2 universities in the Middle East to take this opportunity to do the 3-minute thesis. And now I sent just like a notice or advertisement for the faculties in our university to send me candidates again. And they did. They sent me around 10 candidates, and I've been training them for around 2 months, and they are fantastic. I've got 10 candidates. One of them is off now, and I've got 9 at the moment. So they are doing really, really well, and you will see it. You will see it today.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm so delighted to stand before you, acting as the emcee of the 3-minute thesis competition held for the 2nd time at the University of Kufa. We are so proud to hold this competition for the 2nd time in our history, and by the assistance and the sponsorship of Tariq Al-Ufuq company. Again, 3-minute thesis is the abbreviation of our 3MT is the abbreviation of 3-minute thesis, which is designed by the University of Queensland in Australia. Let me first introduce myself to you. I'm Majid Hamid, lecturer of drama at the Faculty of Education Department of English, and I'm also the Director of Research and Development section at the Faculty of Education. So welcome, and by the way, again, we are so proud to be the first Iraqi university that holds this competition, and almost, I'm not quite sure, the second or the third university in the Middle East. Today's event represents the accumulation of 3 months of hard work and dedication. Our candidates have been working really hard and extensively hard. Before we start, let me give you an idea about the background of this competition. Basically, it is a University of Queensland initiative. It requires that the candidate presents his work on the stage within or in 3 minutes exactly. According to the Queensland University, it would take 9 hours to present 80 or to 100,000 words. Whereas in fact, today, we are asking our candidates to present their work in 3 minutes only. So this is actually the challenge. In fact, we are here today asking our competitors to present their work in that time limit. So it's all about communication of ideas. For the criteria and the rules of this competition, the candidate will come on the stage and present his work in 3 minutes, no more, and we will have timing for that. There is a strict rule: if a candidate exceeds the time limit more than 3 minutes, he will be disqualified. I'm so glad, and it gives me such a great honor and a privilege to present our distinguished judging panel. I will start with Professor Mohammed Abdel Zahra. He is the Dean of the Faculty of Medicine here at the University of Kufa. He graduated from University of Kufa, Faculty of Medicine, board certified in internal medicine in 1994. He is an assistant professor since 2004. Our second judging panel, Professor Mohsen Al-Abadi. He is the Vice President of the University of Kufa. Al-Abadi holds his PhD degree from University of Oxford, UK. He is a member of the Oxford University, member also of Royal Chemical Society, and a member of American Society. Our third judge is Assistant Professor Dr. Ahmed Hamid Al-Azzam. He holds his Bachelor of Veterinary Medicine from University of Baghdad back in 1988. He has a MSc Veterinary Pathology in 1999, a PhD in Veterinary Pathology in 2005. Again, he acts as the Dean of Faculty of Veterinary Medicine at the University of Kufa from 2000 till the present. Our fourth judge is Dr. Ali Hilal. He has a PhD in Computing and Communication System from Lancaster University, UK. He is currently the Director of the Information Technology Research and Qualifying Center and a Financial Officer at the Computational Intelligence Society of the IEEE Iraq chapter. Now, let's come to our competitors. In fact, we have amazing and talented people here who will be joining you on the stage shortly. We are going to be hearing some outstanding presentation which are going to introduce and reflect their work. What they are going to do is incredibly important to do. We have PhD students with amazing stories to tell with amazing discoveries. Basically, they have to introduce their work to non-specialist audience. So without further ado, let me introduce our first competitor to join me on the stage, Wasna Muhammad from the Faculty of Dentistry, Department of Basic Science. She is going to talk about fabrication of high responsivity photo detector.
perfection is something that many people aim for. Likewise, we also aim for perfection in silicon photodetectors. Now, photodetectors are sensors of light or other electromagnetic energy that convert light photons into electrical signals, as you see in the screen. Until 2015, carbon nanotubes photodetectors were fabricated only by depositing on a silicon substrate, but silicon is a semiconductor with an indirect band gap. Therefore, the responsivity achieved was low and worked in infrared region only. So, what is the solution? Can we fabricate silicon photodetectors with high responsivity? The good news is that in my PhD study, I've been looking at the fabrication of silicon photodetectors with low cost, high responsivity, and work in UV visible range. And this is the challenge. How have I done this? Actually, by 3 steps. First, converting 10 samples of silicon from bulk structure with an indirect band gap to nanostructure with direct band gap, that is known as porous silicon, by drop casting method. Second, preparation multi-wall carbon nanotube suspension. This means that multi-wall carbon nanotubes swim and do not dissolve in a liquid, which acts as a bridging agent linking carbon nanotube in a network-like manner. And finally, embedding multi-wall carbon nanotubes on silicon substrate by drop casting method. In fact, the benefit of using multi-wall carbon nanotubes is their behavior as a photo generation layer, which captures light photons and releases electrons. These electrons constitute electrical current. My work demonstrates that the responsivity of silicon photodetectors increased after converting to nanostructure and enhanced more and more after embedding multi-wall carbon nanotubes. The maximum value of obtaining responsivity is 0.94 ampere per watt, and this is the highest value obtained, as researchers in the field have found this so far. Thus, the value of obtaining responsivity proves that this technique uses efficiently to fabricate low-cost silicon photodetectors with high responsivity, and this is the positive change of my work. Ultimately, the Ministry of Science and Technology and the Ministry of Electricity will be highly interested with the result of my research, as there are urgent need to face the persistent power problems in Iraq, among which, and in top of all, of course, power shutdown. Thanks.
Such a good start. Thank you very much, Wasna. I'm calling on Sadiq Ghani Joda from the Faculty of Science, Department of Biology. He's going to talk about his topic on a new protein vaccine for pneumococcal.
Do you think that the vaccine without development still provide full protection? Indeed, Ahmed is one of my friends who got a vaccine against pneumonia. He had a healthy life, but unfortunately, within time, he was infected with pneumonia. One day, he felt sad and asked me why. I answered him that the distant variation within a species of pathogenic bacteria that are not contained with available pneumococcal vaccine had been absorbed after vaccine implementation. In fact, these vaccines can prevent some cases of disease, among which pneumonia. We can define pneumonia as inflammatory conditions of a human lung affecting primarily the microscopic air sacs. There are two types of these vaccines currently available: pneumonia polysaccharides and conjugated vaccines. So, how can Ahmed be healthy and happy? In other words, how can overcome problems with the current pneumococcal vaccine? This needs a research into novel vaccine antigen. My PhD project, according to recent recommendation by American researchers, attempt to produce a new type of vaccine, as you see in the slide. By using genetic engineering methods with a new gene. This new gene encodes for antigen A, which is a potential protein vaccine. The project is dependent on the selection of the target gene. Thus, bioinformatics software is used for the design and optimization purposes, as you see in the right side of the screen. The target gene is synthesized. One advantage of scientific sequence is that the gene dependent on the available DNA template. Accordingly, I can design sequence exactly according to my desire and requirements. The target gene is inserted into standard bacterial host cell. The bacterial cells are growing into suitable media and used with some chemical to produce protein, which is our targets. To ensure that we have the target protein, Western blotting used, which is an analytic technique used in molecular biology to detect a specific protein in samples. The result of my study shows that the target synthetic sequence is successfully expressed within bacterial expression system. In my final PhD stage, I'm going to be looking how I can use this recombinant protein as a new vaccine for pneumonia disease. Ultimately, this research has a commercial significance since it assists pharmaceutical companies to manufacture a new vaccine that will help my friend Ahmed and patients like him to overcome pneumonia. Thank you.
We have the third competitors, Amir Sahib from the Faculty of Agriculture, Department of Plant Protection. He's going to talk about insect rice mealybug.
Do like to eat rice? I think everybody do. Rice is usually almost attacked in 100 species the insect. 20 of them very important. Is the common name the rice mealybug. There are 2,224 species the mealybug in the worldwide. The rice mealybug new record in Iraq. It's the loses 50 to 60% rice crop. The strong point, the mealybug, the body cover wax, remain consistent within leafy plant and growth more type of weeds. The weak point, soft body, like special rice classes, and it's attacked by parasite and prototype. We could identify the rice infection, see the direct in the field, short plant and white color. The insect have been allocated by the GBS and all the data analysis by Genestat. We could always control the insect by the pesticide. Pesticide kill the target and non-target because in 1% reach the insect and 99 into plant, animal and human. Prevention is better than a cure. My PhD project go to lion. The first lion is the mealybug growth, breeding, and life cycle in lab and field. Indeed, the students the first time in Middle East. The second line is controlled by the fungus, oil plant, and nanomaterial. Fungus are the liquid solution, systemic infection by toxin, oil plant contact infection. Nanomaterial, there are less 100 nanometer in size. So about there are 100 times smaller single human hair. Nanomaterial easily and fast enter the body insect and destructed at will. The three significant my factors: reduce number of the mealybug, natural balance, and plant production. My recommendation of the Ministry of Agriculture, stopping the using the pesticide control by the pesticide is the usually case in contamination in the environmental. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Amir. I think speaking of rice have made us all that kind of feeling hungry. Anyways, now we have next competitor, Hawra Amir Mubarak from Faculty of Medicine, Department of Microbiology. She's going to talk about breast cancer gene and molecular biomarker guided therapy in triple negative breast cancer.
Do you know what is a triple negative breast cancer? It is a type of breast cancer which has no hormone binding site on cancer cell. So, anti-hormone therapy cannot be used in these cases. Additionally, it multiplies rapidly and early spread to the brain, and it is bad outcome. Consider a challenge for the specialist because when the patient appears to be cured from the cancer, after a short time, the disease will return back. Chemotherapy is the other choice of treatment, But chemotherapy types are not unique for all patients of this type of cancer. It depends on factors. Which factors? My PhD thesis studied the role of some factors that guide chemotherapy treatment in this type of cancer in the middle of Iraq. One of these factors has been concerned is breast cancer gene abnormal structure. This gene found normally in all humans, and it functions for DNA preparing when the DNA damage inside cell for any cause. When these genes are normal, so there will be no problem. But when the breast cancer gene are abnormal structure, this leads to the cancer formation. Other molecules have been studied are cytokeratin 5/6, which is a protein located inside cancer cells, and these molecules have a prognostic value. The first and second factors have been studied through cross-sectional study by taking breast cancer tissue that is preserved in a specific material, which is paraffin. My thesis studied other molecule, which is vitamin D. Vitamin D is important vitamin in protection of cancer because it is mandatory in function of anti-cancer gene. This has been established by case control study by taking the serum of patient and compare it with serum of normal patient, of normal person, and also compare it with patient of breast cancer who have hormone binding site on cancer cell. My PhD thesis result show that no one of patients have abnormal structure, and about 2/3 of patients have cytokeratin, and all patients have deficient in vitamin D. My thesis will be interesting to cancer patients. Finally, I recommend please expose to sunlight, even behind glasses. Thank you.
How good and nice to move from medicine to arts. Our next speaker is Muhammad Ahmed Abu Nawair. He is from the Faculty of Arts, Department of Philosophy. He's going to talk about the problematic of political theory.
I think the two big questions in Iraq are, who is that who can work in politics? Does this work in politics? Individuals specialized in, does this work require individual specialized in politics? Working in politics requires self-scale, part of which is philosophical wisdom. It also requires being scientifically specialized according to specific scientific methods. The subject of my thesis is the problematic of political theory between philosophy and the scientific American behaviorism school. The philosophical model of politics depended on the following: the ideal situation, objective as well subjective thinking, the ideologies, the ethical situation and social norms, and sometimes on religion as means of rulings. The philosophical positivism emerged. The scientific behaviorism emerged as well. The latter believes that man can be studied in terms of his outside apparent behavior, not in terms of his morals, feelings, or any emotional states. So it was successful in measuring human activity and human behavior by using some scientific and experimental methods. The scientific and experimental behavioral approach succeeded in establishing some scientific studies in analyzing the political phenomenon. However, it's unable to cover up the political phenomenon as a whole because it calls in principle for a serious separation between facts and values, and heavily on facts only. It in fact completely neglects values, as values cannot be subjected to a rigorous experimental methodology. The philosophical approach to politics, on the contrary, was characterized by lacking scientific accuracy and its inaccuracy of results. However, it succeeded in forming moral normative political theory. In Iraq, we need a real political scientist who are able to balance individual self-wisdom on the one hand and to realize the individual self-wisdom and the realize the special scientific studies on the political phenomenon on the other hand. Thank you very much.
Here we are, coming back to science again. Now we have the Zaki Aziz from Faculty of Science, Department of Biology. She's going to talk about anti-cancer drug design.
It is so hard and terribly painful to see a child who diagnosed with cancer. Certainly, we are all emotionally moved in case we see such cases. This encouraged me to carry on my PhD study on childhood cancer to offer those innocent angels a healthy life. Rhabdomyosarcoma is the most common soft tissue tumor in children between age of 2 to 6 years old. It's a cancer made up from cells that normally develop into skeletal muscle, but that didn't occur. Indeed, there are many strategies for cancer treatment. One of them is chemotherapy. Chemotherapy is the most common therapeutic option for the treatment of this type of cancer. Conventional drugs have limited benefits due to their toxicity, resistance, and relapse problems. Nowadays, planning for different approaches to design new drugs has become the main goal of researchers in this field. So, how can we design new drugs? My research is mainly concerned with one novel way of attempting to increase the anti-cancer efficacy and lowering toxicity by a designing of a compounded drug from two old drugs, as we see in the slide, between doxorubicin and methotrexate, with a specific chemical reaction. Here, the proposed approach, when a drug will modify the toxicity of the other, in the same time we can specify their efficacy. The new drug was analyzed by chemical techniques to prove its formation. Then it was assessed on cancer cell and animals. Embryonal cancer cells related to rhabdomyosarcoma were obtained. Their growth, morphology, and invasion was assessed under the influence of all the drugs and the new drug. Also, synergism and antagonism between the compounded form, my new drug, and the mixture of them were calculated. Mice bearing tumor or the xenograft mice model were created by inoculation of cancer in animals. The declination of cancer in animals was monitored by a new tool in my country by infrared thermograph imaging technique. The chemical results showed formation of a new compound with new properties, which considerably different from original drugs. According to statistical analysis, which was another one way, the inhibition rate of growth in all doses was significant when compared to untreated cell and normal cell. Also, the same result was in animals. In fact, my new drug gains its anti-tumor activity, similar to doxorubicin and better than methotrexate. At the same time, it was less toxic from them by lowering toxicity. Finally, the most beneficiary for this project are Ministry of Health and pharmaceutical industry companies. Thank you all.
We have Shema Hussein from Faculty of Science, Department of Zoology. She's going to talk about pomegranate peel. Please join us.
Today is very hot. Do you think so? I would like drink to something, orange juice, melon juice, but I favored pomegranate juice. Today, I will talk about pomegranate peel against liver cirrhosis. Liver cirrhosis is an important reason of morbidity and mortality in many developed nations. Thus, 1.3 million people die every year because of this disease. In spite of that, many pharmaceuticals compounds are currently available to treatment this disease, but such compounds are either inconsistent efficacy or high incidence of side effects. However, at present day, a number of natural compounds are extracted from a plant to treating this disease, which often offer alternative treatment options that are safe and effective. Therefore, the aim of my study to investigate pomegranate peel extraction against liver cirrhosis induced in male rat by thioestamide. My study divided into two experiments. The first experiment induced liver cirrhosis by thioestamide. Thioestamide, a chemical agent used in lab. The second experiment that treated liver cirrhosis by pomegranate peel extraction and selenium. Selenium, antioxidant factor. I used that to compare between them. At the end of the experiment, all the rats are sacrificed and liver tissue were examined microscopically for lesions suspected of being fibrosis or cirrhosis with histological stain, immunofluorescence technique, as well as biochemical measurement of antioxidants index and transaminase enzyme activity. My results showed that the pomegranate peel played a substantial role and proved to be a useful strategy against progression of liver cirrhosis. My advice to you, eat pomegranate each week to feel power and healthy. Thank you.
Now it's time for Hassan Ali Jassim from the Faculty of Medicine, Department of Physiology and Medical Physics. He's going to present a speech on urinary incontinence.
Urinary incontinence is the loss of urine control. If you have it, you are not alone. There are 200 million people worldwide. Do you know, about 40 years, 1 out of 5 women suffers from urinary incontinence, and 1 in 10 men has it. Actually, urinary incontinence is not want to kill you. It, however, make your life miserable. It affects psychological, socio-economic state, and the quality of life of the sufferers. The aim of my research is to save and reduce the suffering of these patients by using electrical stimulation of urinary bladder for 2 groups of patients with and without type 2 diabetes mellitus to assess electrical stimulation, local harmful effect, and impact on quality of life. Basically, the existing procedures for treatment of urine leakage is behavioral changes, drugs intake, and surgery have large limitation, supply insufficient improvement of the symptom, and have many side effects. However, in my clinical trial, 60 female and male patients were tested with electrical stimulation, and according to the medical ethics for medical research of Declaration of Helsinki, by introducing a special flexible tube called catheter into urinary bladder through the urinary outlet. The catheter is connected to an electrical generator machine called Detrosan 500, as you seen in the screen. 10 sessions for 3 weeks were done for each patient. Both the procedure and Detrosan haven't been used in the Middle East before. The urine leakage outcome measurement were done by statistical analysis of the information from bladder diary and quality of life assessment by SPSS. My thesis shows the following conclusion: electrical stimulation reduce the number and the volume of leaked urine. Electrical stimulation has positive impact on quality of life and have no adverse effect during and after electrical stimulation. That's all. Thank you.
What remarkable stories we are hearing today, and how embarrassing to suffer from this disease. Alhamdulillah, we have a treatment for that. Now, last but not least, Muntadhar Muhammad Ali from the Faculty of Science, Department of Chemistry, he's going to talk about stem cells. All the best of luck.
Still the human being fighting diseases, so there is always a hope for a cure, and the stem cells are that hope. So, what is the stem cells? Stem cells are undifferentiated biological cells that can differentiate to special cells such as kidney, liver, bone, skin, and nerve cells. There are 3 known accessible sources in adult stem cells for a human: adipose tissue, bone marrow, and the blood. The aim of my research to use the human stem cells to find a cure for any treatable diseases. My PhD thesis include ionic research in my country at work, where I treated the human stem cells after isolation them from the abdominal area, multiply them, purify them, and under stimulate magnetic field with spion. Spion is a nanoparticle, is a good nanoparticle, where I proved the nanoparticle spions didn't kill human stem cells and increase the ability to live and differentiation. Then, the human stem cells are converted to nerve cells by using special chemical substances, growth factors, cell culture technique. In my research, many different techniques are used to reach the results. Intracellular ions, ferrous, ferric, and ferritin protein intracellular are estimated by using ELISA and spectrophotometrically technique. 4 different genes: ferritin heavy chain, ferritin light chain, transferrin receptor 2, transferrin receptor 1 are estimated, and gene expression detection after and before treatment with spion nanoparticles. My results showed increase both total iron, ferrous, ferric, and ferritin after treatment with spion nanoparticles. This result is very, very important because the iron element is very necessary for cell life. It's act antioxidant. I mean antioxidant to remove free radicals inside cells. That's cause many disorders such as cancer disease and cell death. It is suggested to use nerve cells in the future for treatment many chronic neurological disease such as Parkinson and Alzheimer disease. Thank you for attention.
What a wonderful morning we have actually today spent with these amazing, talented people. Now we come to the end of the presentations. I think the judging panel will have a very tough job to make a decision on the winner. As you know, we have 3 winners in this competition. The first and the second winners will be decided by the judging panel. And also we have people's choice. So you audience can decide and can select your winner because you have a prize you are going to give to the winner. I may mention the fact that the prizes are presented by Tariq Al-Ufuq company. Thank you very much indeed. We are going to take a break for like 10 minutes. Okay, I'll leave it to Dr. Haider.
Hello again. Before you selecting your candidate, please wait. You handed over, a checklist. Inside this checklist, there are 9 candidates. So you need to select just one of them. What I'm going to do, I bring my candidates here to remember you. Who are they? And then you need to select. I will ask them to come here one by one, from number 1 to number 9. And then you need to select just one. Because if you select 2, your checklist will be destroyed. So please, my candidates, come here.
First competitor is Wasna Muhammad, Siddiq, Ghani Joda, Amir Sahib, Hawra Amir Mubarak, Muhammad Ahmed Abu Nawir, ضفاف زكي, شيماء Hussein, Hassan Ali Jassim, and Muntadhar Muhammad Ali.
So as you can see, starting from number 1, Dr. Wasna, ending with Dr. Muntada. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and 9. You need to select just one. So please do it. Thank you.
Okay, our computers, thank you very much indeed. Thank you very much. Can step down. Thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Again, thank you so much for your patience. It is the time to announce the results of our candidates. But before announcing it, I just wanted to mention something. These 9 candidates, they are really doing well. They are working for more than 2 months, and they have been just like, colleagues. They are brothers. One help each other, actually. This is what I've seen during my experience with them. So winning the first, or the second, or even the third, doesn't mean the other didn't win it. 9 of you are the winners, because you are 9 out of, let's say, 100 PhD students in Kufa University. So all of you are the winners. Don't worry. Thank you so much. And I will hand over to the head of the judging panel, Dr. Muhammad Saeed, to announce the results of this competition. Yes, please, Dr.
It is very useful, and there's great lessons from this activity this day, that student, PhD student or MSc student or undergraduate student, they need mentors. They need somebody who help them to learn, help them to present themselves. I think this is a big lesson for all universities in Iraq, that not just lecturings and spoon feeding it help, and just training and training and training and repetitions and mentoring and support, all what our students they need. Thanks for the audience all that attend and today and listen to our student. All the presenter was very excellent, very excellent, and my thanks for my colleagues who are the judge today, and we hope we are fair enough to present we according to the regulations of this 3-minute thesis, we should announce the third one, not the first. We should, and the third one is your choice, and your choice, the third one is Dr. Wasna. Then the second winner is Dr. Difaf Zaki Aziz, and the first is Muntadhar Muhammad Ali. Thanks for all.
Again, without the support and the sponsorship of the private company, which is Tariq al-Ufuq, we won't be able to hold this activity. So I'm saying again and again and again for them for supporting us this activity. Thank you so much, Dr. Ali. And now I'm asking the head of the judging panel to deliver some certificate of the candidates who are participating in this activity. Yes, please, Dr. Muhammad.
Okay. The first winner, Muntadhar. Okay, منتظر حسن علي جاسم. Please join us here. شيماء, ضفاف, محمد, أحمد, حوراء, أمير, please.
Because I am afraid that I forget one of them. So I express my great thanks to all people who are working hardly to finally you see this very nice activity. Of course, my great thanks to all our students who make this morning very happy for all of us. And actually, as we told Dr. Haider, it was a very tough job for the audience and for the judging panel to assess who is the winner. All of you are the winners because all of you do a very good job. So from my heart, I express my great thanks to all of you. Also, I express my thanks to Dr. Mohammed Saeed and his judging panel for their efforts to assess and evaluate the students who are presenting their work today. Regarding the activity, it is, as Dr. Mohammed Saeed said, this is a very good activity that improved the other skills other than getting the academic degree in PhD. And this is very useful to encourage our students to get a future opportunity to get a job in a high-level institutions, even outside Iraq. So my great thanks to all people and my great thanks to all people who attend this activity. And actually, we have ideas to improve it in the next few years. And thank you very much for all.
Sorry, we have shields.
We have certificate.
Just a minute. Okay. I forget to express my great thanks to اطروحتك company, who is also winner with us because he is greatly support us to do this activity for second year. Thank you very much.
Professor. Okay, Professor Mohammed Abdul Zahra, please.
السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. احنا نشكر رئاسة جامعة الكوفة وكل العاملين المشرفين على هذه الفعالية اللي هي تعتبر الفعالية الثانية لمسابقة اطروحتي في 3 دقائق. حقيقة العام الماضي كنا في مؤتمر كان لبحوث طلبة الدراسات العليا في كلية التربية الرياضية في جامعة الكوفة، وصار لقاء ويا السيد المساعد العلمي دكتور محسن وتحدث عن هاي الفعالية اللي كانت تحدث العام الماضي كمسابقة أولى. فحرصنا أنه نحضر على هذه السنة وتكون هذه التجربة كمقترح للجامعة تكون تعمم على الجامعات العراقية لكل طلبة الدراسات العليا، ومقترحي أيضا للجامعة تكون بصيغة ليست مسابقة وإنما بصيغة مؤتمر علمي لبحوث طلبة الدراسات العليا، يكون الإلقاء بهذه الصيغة اللي هي 3 دقائق لبحثي وليس فقط لأطروحتي 3. بهذه الحالة نكون نستفاد من ناحيتين. الناحية الأولى يعتبر بحث لطالب الدراسات العليا ملقى في مؤتمر علمي، والفائدة الثانية أنه هو ملقى بطريقة 3 دقائق لبحثي. بهذه الحالة الطالب الدراسات العليا راح يكون مستفيد من بحث مقيم ملقى في مؤتمر علمي ويحسب له في لجنة المناقشة. بالتأكيد تعرفون طلبة الدراسات العليا مطلوب من عندهم أنه لطالب الدكتوراه على الأقل ممكن ينشر بحثين، ولطالب الماجستير ممكن أن ينشر بحث، وهذه عليها درجات تقييم. الشيء الآخر يعني أنا أدعو الجامعة أنه تنظر بهذه المقترحات وتعممها على كل الجامعات العراقية، ويصير مؤتمر لكل طلبة الدراسات العليا في الجامعات العراقية. ونشكر كل الطلبة اللي شاركوا في هذه المسابقة. حقيقة احنا أعطونا ورقة لغرض التقييم، احنا إذا نختار واحد من عندهم بالتأكيد راح نظلم البقية. الكل هم فائزين، الكل هم مبدعين، واعتقد هي لثلاث دقائق هو جاي نتيجة عمل لأكثر من شهر أو شهرين اللي برزتها اللجنة بهذه المسابقة. وشكرا جزيلا، بارك الله بكم.
Thank you so much for the head of postgraduate studies in our university. Again, we conclude today, but last but not least, we would like to thank the whole shrine of Imam Ali for supporting us with the sound system. Thank you so much. And before, the last word, taking home. This is a very important activity. All our postgraduate students need to participate in it. With the support, we would like to get future support as well from Tariq Al-Ufuq company. Thank you so much, and please join us to cut the cake upstairs. Thank you so much.